exactly what that is. Stacey, can you let me know when we've got a few people signed in to the you should see them show up on the at the top of the screen. They'll show up as viewers or something.
Okay, sure. We've got Donna Curry.
I don't need to know the names of the people in the chat, just when we've got the number.
How many do you want?
How many have you got right now?
We have two.
I'm going to wait for people to come online, give them a chance to catch up here. And we are way early, but I would rather be way early than way late. Meantime, to find myself a little twig. There's a puka. Little twig. I'm glad to hear it, Jackie. How many we got, Stacey?
We've got 4, and Lynn Blazer says hi.
Oh, hi, Lynn. Sorry, I had to keep the. I'm going to put this on a rock, and then it's not so wobbly. If I can find a suitable rock. Let's go down here for a minute. Oops. Since I have it on a tripod, rather than me wobbling, I can zoom in and out a bit better. Okay, I'm still going to wait for a few more people to come on. Okay, people, I'm trying to get sorted out here. Oof. This is going to be a bit weird because normally I get to see the chat, and I'm not going to be able to see the chat until I've got myself sorted out a bit more. So what we're looking at here is basically Granite Chief Wilderness, and I have got a pokey stick. It's my pokey stick. Let's go the other way around so it's more pokey. The riders are coming over right here. This is Watson's Monument. So they have come up from Palisades, Olympic Valley. They pop over the top here at the crest of the Sierra, and then they come down the shoulder of this mountain here. This is Granite Chief in here. The valley to the right is Picayune Valley, and there's, make sure I'm pointing at the right thing here, I'm doing this without glasses. That there is Picayune Bluff. It's a big rocky outcropping, and they're basically going to pass behind there, and then they're going to pass along the ridge in front of the mountain here to Lion Ridge, which is about there-ish, which is a trot by. That's at 21 miles. I want to say Watson's Monument's about 13 or 14 miles, so that's what we're looking at there. I could see the flag on Watson's Monument this morning, which was pretty wild, and just see the little dots of the horses. So yeah, so they're going to come across, and I don't know if you can see, where are we? Directly below this mountain, in the patch of sunlight, kind of just above my little stick, there's like a puff of dust, and that puff of dust is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because that's basically the horses coming through Hodgson's Meadow, and they're coming around the front of this little sunny spot here, and coming around. So you're going to see them. You see the sign of them more than actually seeing the horses themselves. And then once, zoom out a tiny bit, once they, turn it around a tiny bit as well, once they've come through Lion Ridge, they're going to pop behind this ridge here that we can't see, and so Cougar Rock is right behind this ridge here, and then they're going to come along the ridge and drop down into the trees in front, and then they will come up this ridge directly in front of us. And then, let me creak, I'll show you where they're going to go. Pardon the wobble. So yeah, so they're going to come up this ridge here. Here's the trail. I have to do this without falling on my face. Ooh. It's very volcanic, this whole ridge along here. So there's the trail. And they're going to come up past this volcanic ridge. Over here we have Linda, who's our photographer today, and my assistant Stacy, who's helping me keep track of everything. So we're going to ride up here. I'm trying not to puff it, so we're about 7,200 feet right here, so it's pretty puffy. And then this here is Elephant's Trunk. So they basically drop down here and go up that ridge there and go around behind. And Red Star Ridge vet check is about, I want to say about a mile and a half, 2 miles past us here. But it's absolutely gorgeous out here. Okay, so the question is,
What compass direction is Watson's Monument from you?
oh, Watson's Monument, I want to say, is almost due east of me. So there's the sun, so it's pretty much due east, I think. If you look at if you go to teviscup.org and you scroll down to the big yellow button that's the ride day links, one of the links on the left hand side is an interactive map, or a page that takes you to an interactive map, and you can basically look on that. You can enlarge it to full screen, and you can look to see where the trail goes and where the different points are. And I'm pretty sure that I put Elephant's Trunk on that and Watson's Monument, so you'll be able to see basically where they're coming, like I said, through Granite Chief along here, and coming through with the dust. Zoom in on the dust again. When I was here last year, I was so excited when I saw the dust. So the dust is right in here when they're coming through. And there used to be a dirt road that ran along here, but when this area got grandfathered into Granite Chief, they basically got rid of the road, so now there's just a trail through there. Dust is getting more dusty. I should probably put you back on the rock so you're not wobbling. But yeah, feel free if anybody has any questions, because the first rider to reach Lion Ridge over there probably is only just getting there right now. So it's going to be like I said, we're at 27-ish miles and that's at 21-ish miles. So it's going to be a little while before anybody shows up. So feel free to ask questions, and hopefully Stacey will be able to relay them to me, and I'll be able to say something useful about it. In the meantime, I'm going to put you back on your rock, so you don't have to get seasick from me jiggling. Oh! Yes, there is. There is Linda, who's got her back to us. There was supposed to be another one, but she got lost on the way here, so we're not sure whether she's going to make it in time or whether she's going to be shooting kind of rather down trail from us. But yes, Linda is definitely going to be here, and she drove up this morning from Shingle Springs. Put you back on the rock, sorry for the wobble. You position nicely, maybe zoom out a tiny bit. Make it zoom out. Oops, I've got binoculars this year, so I can hopefully spot the riders before they get here. Whereas last year I was kind of peering. Where are we? That's better. So they are going to show up. You might see them. I don't know how good the feed is, but there's a little green, bright green area just above my stick, and they come across there, and we definitely could see them there last year, and then they'll disappear past the green bit into the trees, and then they'll show up along this ridge here. So I'm going to leave you there for a minute. Can we see the dust? Let me zoom out a bit, because that dust is going to build. There we go. So the dust I'm talking about is this area right here, and that's where the riders are coming through at Hodgson's Meadow, and they are probably at about 20 miles into the ride at that point. It's building. It's very cool. So hopefully we're going to take some numbers. I'll try and recognise everybody I can who's coming through, and let you know who the riders are. I'm going to have Stacey take some numbers, so hopefully if we miss somebody, if you see somebody, please feel free to shout out in the chat if you see somebody that I don't recognise, or if I misidentify somebody, please feel free to say, that wasn't so-and-so, that was so-and-so else. I guess I'm pathetically excited by the dust, because it's just so cool, so cool. But this, once you come out of Granite Chief, it's very lush in Granite Chief. There's a lot of water there and a lot of vegetation. And when you hit this ridge, it's volcanic and dry and craggy and rocky, and there's nothing basically, no water. It's really cool as well. As the sun comes up, you can see more and more detail in the valley. So the questions that Stacey's relaying to me are, how did we get here? We drove up last night. We came through Robinson Flat and then drove up the dirt road that the riders come down between Red Star and Robinson Flat. And then we basically turn off that road and end up coming through, if any of you remember the Red Star vet check, I want to say 10 years ago, I can't remember when we switched it, but it used to be in a slightly different location about half a mile from where it is now. And for various reasons they moved it over to a slightly different spot. And so we basically came in through the old Red Star Ridge vet check area and came up a little dirt road that last year I knew was open because Bill Gore, who's the ride photographer at Cougar Rock, he had come in last year, so he confirmed with me that it was clear. This year he hadn't been up here this year, so Stacey and I we had to mark the trail between Robinson and Red Star, basically on the road there. And I said to her, okay, well we'll just see how it goes. And we got in about halfway. It's probably about a mile in from there, and about halfway down there was a tree in the way, so we had to get out and drag the tree out of the way. And then we went another few hundred yards and there was another tree, so we had to kind of break that one up and drag it out of the way and move some rocks. And then there was a third tree, so we were actually pretty lucky. We managed to get it all the way in that we wanted to come into. So that was our journey, and then we slept overnight basically on the trail. I was parked just by the side of the trail because I thought, if my car doesn't start, this will not be good if I'm parked right in the middle of the trail. So we were slightly off the trail there, and got to sleep about 1:30 by the time we were done. And so the other question was about trail markings. We have an army of trail markers basically who go out. They each take a little section or a longer section. In the case of this particular section of trail, the ladies who marked it was Lisa Mahon and Donna Mickle, I believe is her name, and they basically started over in Olympic Valley and rode up and over and marked the entire trail from there to, actually from Watson's Monument, because we had somebody else marking in Olympic Valley, but they marked from Watson's Monument all the way to Red Star, and they marked with, let me see if I can find you a ribbon, around here. So if you can see where on this tree here, there's basically 3 ribbons. So we mark the trail now with, it's actually biodegradable ribbon, so before it was plastic ribbon and they weren't too keen on that, so now we use this biodegradable stuff which basically fades and disintegrates. We come out and remove all the ribbons, but if one gets missed, it'll rot away and disappear pretty quickly. So the whole of the trail is basically marked with ribbons. In this case they've put 3 ribbons on the tree because they want to make sure that the people take the turn. I don't think they're likely to go up there, but you never know. The trail's pretty rough in places, but all the way along the trail, they, regular intervals, especially if there's a turn off or whatever, you'll see the ribbons. And at really difficult sort of turns, if they're a bit difficult to spot, we'll put arrows down with dolomite to basically point them in the right direction, make sure they make the turn. Put you back on the rock again. But yes, the trail is very well marked, and then after dark, it's marked with glow sticks. So people are basically following the glow sticks at that point. I can see more and more dust. Let's see if I can zoom in. Every time I kneel down, there's always rocks. Knees full of rocks. Zoom in on that. Oops. Adjust the camera. So the new trail, this is the last year we're going to be using the old trail for granite sheaf. I'm going to swivel you around slightly because I can see even more dust now. Tilted the right way around. So you can see, there's my stick. That's because it zoomed in so far. I'm going to have to come all the way out. Over here on the right, you can see dust. So it's basically, there's a tunnel of dust where the riders are coming through. All the way, stretching for probably about 5 miles at this point. Off screen. Just off screen. Let me zoom out a tiny bit. I just realised that my glasses turn dark with the sun and I can't see anything on the screen, so I have to do this without glasses. So if I start pointing at strange things, that's what's going on. I can't actually see what I'm doing. But I mean, I can almost see down in Picayune Valley to the right here, there's still dust, you know, accumulating down in there. But yeah, so going back to the trail, the Granite Sheaf Trail, it's an old trail and it's very lightly used, should we say. There's not a lot of people who are through hiking or riding through. It's just logistically it's very difficult. Like I said, once you get up onto this ridge where we are, there's very little water, so people don't tend to use it a lot. And it was built kind of back before environmental concerns were more of a concern. And there's a lot of spots where there's a lot of runoff and boggy patches, and depending on how much rain we've had that year, you know, the boggy patches can be worse or better. And so they've spent the last 5 years basically rebuilding the trail through Granite Sheaf. And it's now going to go, right now it goes, like I said, we go just behind Picayune Bluff here. And we're fairly low on the mountain, you know, before it drops off into Picayune Valley. So they're basically moving the trail up the mountainside, so it's going to be higher on the shoulder of the mountain. And I thought it was going to be above the tree line, but I'm looking at it now and that's clearly not the case because I can see the trees almost all the way to the top of the mountain. So they're just building it higher up where it's less wet and it's going to be easier to maintain, because this section is typically, it gets a lot of snow. Obviously we're at 7,200 feet right here, and they go up to, I think Watson's Monument is at 84 or 8,600 feet. So they get a lot of snow in the winter, and you know, the trees get knocked down. So every year, you know, it's a big chore to basically come through there and get a you know, get the trail clear and make sure that it's safe for horses. Luckily we have the Western States Run comes through here, this on the same trail about a month before we do. So they do a lot of clearing, but what they clear for people is not necessarily the same as what we need to clear for horses, because obviously we need more headroom, and we need more you know, the runners can jump over the top of trees or duck underneath trees, whereas horses, that's not going to fly. So they have a lot of work to do basically on that trail every year. So hopefully this new trail, it's going to be a lot more sustainable. The trail bed is going to be better. It's not going to be nearly as boggy as it was, and it's much more sustainable basically, and much less abusive to the wilderness area type thing. So it'll mean we can continue for many years to come. And the fun fact about Granite Sheaf is you're not allowed to use any power tools in there. So if there's any trees down, basically they've got to go in and do them by hand. If there's any rock chiseling, they've got to do it all by hand. If you go over to the WSER.org, it's the Western States Endurance Run, they've got photos there of them lifting these massive rocks to basically build, you know, culverts over water sources and things like that. So it's been a labour of love out there, where they've gone out there and, you know, spent days at a time working on the trail. So it's fantastic. And there's a lot of money have gone into it. So the donations that you guys make are basically going towards projects like that, where we're rebuilding the trail, or rebedding the trail, or moving the trail to somewhere where we can actually, it's actually not going to erode out from underneath us. So any donations are gratefully received, and a lot of the grants that we got for doing trail work like that, it's a matching grant. So it's basically a case of, if we put in $100,000, the grant will put in $100,000. So the more we put in, the more we get back from grants. So that's another important aspect of it. That dust is getting bright. Keeping an eye on the side. I'm going to zoom you out a tiny bit. Swivel you around a tiny bit. Okay. That's funny. Okay, so the questions that Stacey just relayed to me are: does wildlife get in the way? I would say not generally. I remember riding through Olympic Valley, gosh, probably 15 years ago now, and there were two baby bears running across the hillside below us, basically trying to get away from people. I think because this is much more wilderness than, say, Lake Tahoe. I know they have a big bear problem around Lake Tahoe with the residents, and the bears get in the trash and basically, they try and break in the houses and open cars and things like that. And I think because this area is so much more remote, they're not habituated to people, so they're basically trying to get out of our way. So I know there are bears out there. I don't remember actually ever seeing any deer, but it's mostly chipmunks is what you see. Chipmunks and marmots. I've seen marmots at the top of Watson's Monument, basically sticking their heads out of the holes and going, what the heck? Suddenly all these horses going past. But the one story I did hear, the bears down in the Auburn area, particularly in the last few miles of trail, there's a lot of bears out there, and there's also a bear that hangs out in the Chicken Hawk area. And I had a friend who was riding there with her daughters a couple of days ago now, and they basically startled a bear out of the undergrowth, and the thing shot off and went down the hillside and kind of tripped and fell and went arse over tea kettle. And they thought that was a pretty cool thing. The ones down in Auburn, we haven't had any problems with the riders on it, but I remember one year where one of the people on the Western States Endurance Run, it was one of the lady runners, who was out in the front, and she got down in a grove, and I guess there was a mother bear with a baby, and the mother bear was not happy and basically got aggressive to her, and she stopped, and then a bunch of other people stopped behind her, and they were all sort of dithering around trying to figure out what they were going to do, and somebody said, oh, we'll just run, and so they started to run towards the bear, and the bear sort of dropped out of a tree, and they all turned tail and ran back up the trail again. And then they were dithering, and the lady runner, because she was kind of way in the front, she said, I was really worried because I knew the next lady behind me was coming, and I was really worried. So I think in the end they just made a dash for it, and the bear finally gave way to the trail. So that was the only story I remember hearing about bears interfering. But like again, that was the run, and I've heard a bear. I was on California Loop one night on my own, and I heard a bear down below me crashing through the undergrowth. I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Never saw it, just heard it, and my horse just kept on trucking along, and I finally caught up with a line of other riders, and the person in the back said to me, did you see that bear back there? And I said, I didn't see it, but I definitely heard it. So yeah, there's definitely wildlife out there, but generally they're not habituated to people, and they don't want anything to do with us. They would rather scram. So and I think typically horses are pretty noisy anyway. So if they're clattering down the trail, they get plenty of warning that there's somebody coming. Anything else? Okay, so the question was, how do you get involved with either crewing or volunteering? So the volunteering part is actually easy. Every year we have, I think I can't remember if I left it up there or whether I might have taken it down because it was a bit late for this year. There's actually a place on the website, teviscup.org, where you can volunteer, and there's a button, and the form doesn't usually go live until maybe late winter, springtime, something like that. And you can basically type in who you are, if you have a preference as to where you'd like to work, what kind of experience you've got, and we have so many jobs that if you know nothing about horses, then that's fine. We can find timing jobs or jobs directing people to go in certain places and things like that, or right up to, if you do have experience with horses, we can send you out to one of the vet checks that doesn't have any crew. For instance, Red Star has no crew. Excuse me. Deadwood has no crew. Last Chance. There's basically a lot of vet checks that do not have any crew. So we always need volunteers to go and help with the horses, hold horses for people who need to use the restroom, or just sponge horses off, P&R horses, be vet scribes. There's all kinds of jobs. So basically, what you need to do if you're interested in volunteering is at the beginning of next year, just keep an eye out and see when that button goes live, and you can just click on it and sign up. And our head volunteer, Cece Catalano, she will basically assign you a spot. And you can, if you have a preference, if you want to go to a particular spot, you can ask for that. And if there's space in that area, then we can send you there. As far as crewing, often there are people who come from out of state who don't have any crew. So again, we have a Facebook site called the Trail to the Trail, the Tevis Trail to the Trail. And if you're interested in crewing for somebody, but you don't have any specific person in mind, you can always put out a thing on Facebook ahead of time and say, hey, I'm going to be in the area. I would love to crew for somebody who doesn't have crew. And you have to be strategic with a lot of crews, because there are some places where you can, for instance, at Robinson, if you're camped overnight at Roby, it's actually quite hard to get into Robinson and kind of get there on time without being super stressed. So people will quite often split their crews, and they'll have one crew at Roby Park, and then they'll have another crew that's camped out kind of on this side of the mountain, because you've basically got to drive around to get to it. And they'll go in and they can get into Robinson Flat early and take the crew bags in and be in position. And then, usually the person from Roby will make it in time, but they're not so stressed, if there's construction on the freeway or whatever, things like that. So there's a lot of places like Michigan Bluff, Chicken Hawk and Forest Hill are all quite close together. And so it's always nice to have somebody at Michigan Bluff to help you cool the horse, because you've just come up out of the canyon right there, and it is a hot canyon. So it's nice to have somebody there, and then if you have somebody to help with Chicken Hawk to help get the horse pulse down, and then you come into Forest Hill, and these places are all quite close together, and you can have crew be in all the places, but they're going to have to be a really fast runner to be able to make all the places. So it's quite often it's somebody who literally just wants somebody to be there for them, to give them a cold drink, and to help them sponge down the horse, say at Michigan Bluff. So
How many volunteers, Lizzie?
how many volunteers, they're asking? I believe it's in the region of 800. I think it depends, but it's in the region of 800. There's a crazy amount, because the places are so hard to access that you can't just say, oh well, we'll just move them from A to B. That's the problem we've had with the live stream, is that if you can get into certain places, but then by the time you get back out again, it takes a while to get to the next place. So the next place Stacey and I are going to be today is Deadwood, which isn't until middle of the afternoon, but it's going to take us that long to actually get there. So yeah, there's a lot of volunteers at all the different locations, and the reason is because it's so difficult to get people in and out. There's places where you can't get in and out because the trail is the way in and out of vet checks and things like that, or it's on top of the people at High Camp, for instance, on the other side of the ridge here, they have to drive in and you know, pack up and drive back out again. Got to drive in the mountain and drive back out of the mountain. I'm getting twitchy watching the side of the trail, making sure that we don't suddenly have riders coming, because they'll suddenly show up and I'll be like, oh! I should probably sit with my binoculars and see if I can see them on the ridge. Let's see. That dust is definitely getting dustier. At least I've figured out where the trail is now. When I came here last year, this is the first time I'd ever looked back in this direction, so it's quite disorienting to see it, sort of see the trail backwards. Don't see anybody. I was trying to figure out when I was sitting at home if you could see Cougar Rock, but unfortunately it's, I'll zoom you out a bit here. I'll zoom you out. There's my stick, there's my stick. Cougar Rock is right behind this ridge here, and I think we just can't see it. I was hoping that maybe we just could, but I think we just can't. And I was kind of bummed. I was like, well, if we went around the corner and up the hill a bit, it's like, no, you can't see it. It's too bad. But again, the riders are going to come. Aren't they? Looking at here, they're going to come. They come along the ridge, so they come from the dust to Lion Ridge at 21 miles. They go behind this ridge. Oh, sorry, I'm getting messages here. They come behind this ridge to Cougar Rock, and then they come along this ridge, and then they drop down in the front. They come through right about here, so we can usually spot them coming through there, and then they're going to drop down in the trees and they'll come up this ridge here. And I'll show you again in case we've got any new viewers. The view is just absolutely spectacular up here. If you're looking over in this direction, this is Soda Springs. In years when we had heavy snow and we weren't able to start at Roby Park, we started at Soda Springs and basically dropped down into this valley and came up that way. But anyway, the riders are going to come up this ridge, past me. We've got Linda shading under the tree, we've got Stacey, and then we have Elephant's Trunk. And then they carry on up this ridge and around, and another, I want to say, 1.5 miles to Red Star. So it's kind of once they hit this point, they're kind of off the volcanic ridge part. So the rocky outcroppings are quite something along here. They're pretty cool. Quick orienteering here. Zoom in a bit. Oh, my fingers are so dry. There we go. So riders are going to come across, where are we? Right here at Watson's Monument. So I don't know if you can see, you maybe can't see. There's a shiny thing right here on the ridge, and it's the top of the ski lift at Palisades over there that's shining in the sun. So they come over about 14 miles, they come over here, they come along the shoulder of the mountain here. This is Picayune Valley on the right, and there's Picayune Bluff, there's a rocky outcropping there that they go behind. And then they come along the shoulder of the mountain to where we have all our dust, which is kind of starting to fade now. But I do see more dust over here, where the riders are coming through. This is Lion Ridge, there's a drop by there, so there's a vet, and if if there's any issues, that there's a vet there that can sort them out, and if anybody's basically whacked on a rock, because it's pretty rocky going through Granite Chief. It's there's a lot of boulders and granite stuff that you've got to step around. It's not smooth sailing, that's for sure. It's one of my favourite sections of trail because it's so pretty, and it's very twisty turny and up and downy. So it's going to be interesting to see what the new trail is like, how it is. And then they're coming through Lion Ridge. Like I said, behind here is Cougar Rock, along the ridge, and then down through the trees, up the hill, and then back behind me. I just saw a comment. They said that it seems like the riders are going a little slower. Last year, the first place rider came through Lion Ridge at about, I think it was 5 to 8. So it does seem like they're running a little bit slower this year. And that might be due to the heat. I think it's going to be hotter this year. I think somebody asked earlier what the temperature was like. It's actually very nice right now. There's a light breeze. I hope that it's not interfering with the microphone, but there's a light breeze. And it's probably maybe starting to get close to 80. I brought a thermometer last year, and of course I forgot it this year, so no thermometer for you. Oh gosh, I can see the dust there. Let's zoom in on that if I can. My dry fingers, where are we going? Here. Let me put you on the rock so I'm not wobbling so much. No horses by yet. You will see them when they come, that's for sure. You're on the rock. Excuse the camera work, or lack of it, while I'm zoomed in. We zoom out so we can find the right place. Where are we? Direct people over there. So you can see. Oh, it's going to stick. Oh, it's wobbling. Oh, get there in a second. Oh, no, it's falling over. Come on, cooperate, tripod. Got it. There we go. This, I'm trying to point to it with my stick. Right here, underneath here, is really close to where Lion Ridge is. So you'll see all the dust from the people coming through there. What time is it? They should be here any time. No, this year.
Oh, Lions?
Through Lion Ridge.
I'll find out.
Lacey's going to check for us and see where they are in relation to last year. And there might be a delay of the times coming out of Lion Ridge, so it could be that they're not getting that information yet anyway. I think we have riders coming. I can hear voices down. I can't see them yet, but I can hear some voices. Here they are. They're coming. Okay. So they are way down. Okay, so they're running about 15 minutes slower. They are just coming up the ridge. Let me scuttle out the way. And we'll zoom you back out again. Otherwise, oh, dry fingers. There we go. Let me get out of the way completely. This is our one little shady spot that Stacey's huddling underneath. Over here. Linda crouching in front of me. No, you're good. You're fine. There they go. So apparently Wash Blakely is in the lead. Now, Wash is his family. He's the lone person in his family who has not won anything yet. His wife Gabriella has won Tevis Cup. His daughter, who is riding with him today, Sonoma, she's won the Tevis Cup. And his son Brack has won the Hagen Cup. So I'm sure Wash is very eager to basically add to the family collection of trophies and can we see them? Yes, I see them. They're coming. Let's see if I can zoom in.
Oh, I see them. Can we cheer for them? What number is Wash?
He is under B for Blakely, so he'll be in the 55.
Oh my gosh.
And Sonoma, because she's a past Tevis Cup winner, she will be in the 11 to 17 range. Who have we got? We've got, I think we have Sonoma in front. We're actually even facing the right way here. There we go. How we've actually pointed the camera in the right way. We have Sonoma in front, Wash, and then I believe it's Karen Donnelly, who is also a Tevis Cup winner, and Andy Botello. And Andy is riding Karen's Tevis Cup horse from, I think it's 2016, Royal Patron. I think her nickname is Winnie. And she is going for her, I think it's her 9th finish this year. So that's pretty cool. We've got a lot of longevity on the trail.
Thank you, I was getting ready to take a nap. I know. Number 12. Number 12. Number 55. Hey, can't see you. 56.
She really doesn't turn very good. She just goes where she wants to go. I was trying to take that left path. Like, nope.
There's that bit, the gray, I don't know his number.
56.
No, the other one. I'm sorry, this chestnut.
The chestnut is Karen Donnelly. She's going to be in the 11 to 17 range. Up the hill. Very cool. So they're moving along. They're not rushing by any means. There's no point rushing on a 100-mile ride because you've got 100 miles to go. So they're moving out nicely and walking when the horses need a break. I actually heard their voices before I saw them. I didn't.
Video people?
No. I heard the voices of the riders down there. Yeah. Karen Donnelly. Yes, she'll be in the 11 to 17 numbers. Got her. Number 4. Oh yes, because she finished in the top 10 last year. So the rider numbers are assigned. Take you back down on the rock. And we'll repeat this process on a regular basis, but I'm sure it's better for you to not be seasick by me wobbling. Oh, I tell a lie, they're already here. Sorry, out the way.
Can we be over here?
No, stay on that side. I mean, you can be there while they're coming up, but not when they're actually going past. So these next riders. Squinting here. Oops. Zoom out because I can't keep the camera that way. This is Nikki Thorne in the front. Nikki Thorne in the front, Jeremy in the middle, and Heather in the back. Heather is riding Sonic, who she won Tevis Cup on last year. Jeremy is riding Treasure. That way. That way. Hello!
Good. Number 2.
Are we live?
Number 1.
Jeremy says hi, everybody.
I say hi too.
And Heather says hi too. Have a good ride, you guys. So Treasure, the bay horse in the middle that Jeremy's riding, is also going for her 9th finish. She has won Tevis Cup, she's won Hagen Cup, she's won Tevis Cup and Hagen Cup at the same time in the same year, which is pretty cool. And like I said, Heather is riding Sonic, who she won on last year. And I don't have... Who is Nikki riding? Nicola Thorne? Stacey?
Nikki is riding
Pershak, okay.
Arab gelding.
One of the horses, I think Heather and Jeremy have, I think it's 5 or 6 horses out there this year. And one of the horses, one of the riders riding, and I'll have to look up and see who it is I think it's Treasure's daughter. I think the horse is called RR Super Cool, and I believe it's Treasure's daughter. So feel free to correct me if I got that totally wrong. I know she has had a daughter out here on course, and I think it was that horse. I'll put you back on your rock. Maybe I can put you on this rock. I have to run so far. Put you on the rock. But super nice people. I mean, it's like I said, they're going. Strange beeping noise. They're going slow where they need to go slow. You know, if the terrain is really rough, there's no sense in like galloping over rough terrain when it's not needed. So you basically just adjust your speed and your gait depending on what trail you're going over, what the type of terrain is. I think I need coffee. I just realised I didn't have my coffee yet this morning. I should probably scuttle off and grab my drink and take a few glugs. Did I just see a flash of light? I did. I see a new horse coming. Don't think you're going to be able to see it. It's just to the left of the green patch. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Sorry. Tiny. Ooh, I hooked up on something. There we go. Right through there, in that. Sorry, let me see if I can get this positioned better so I'm not wobbling. Rotate it round a bit. But in the centre of the screen is part of the trail. And there should be a horse coming through there.
I really want to shoot
If I can get it in.
that road.
Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button, it cuts the feed, and I just pressed the wrong button. I apologise. Oh, I see them, but I don't think you can see them. They're little tiny dots. Little tiny dots. There's 2 more going across. It's in that bright green patch, a little to the left of centre. Just little dots going across. You usually see the dust. I can see the dust behind the horse as well, where it's coming through.
She said I have to be on this side. Back to the other.
I'm going to leave you there for a second. Oops. I'll try it. Leave you there for a second. Zoom out. Oops, don't do that. Zoom out a bit.
Is there a reason why that side's probably just thinking of bobbing over there and shooting between those rocks for a minute.
I thought you meant can you do like shoot them when they're right here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was just thinking kind of where you are between those rocks to shoot while they're coming up the. Okay. I should be able to. They're not moving that fast. I'm not running across, but I should be able to get across. The worst would be to fall down right
Exactly, it's go splatting, we could just like drag your body
Then
out
they'll
of the
have to
way.
jump.
can't leave
An
it.
obstacle.
Off the trail, we just leap over them. We saw another 3 horses coming.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Try
They
to get different
They
angles.
were on the,
Right there.
yeah, because it's good footing, that little spot right there is good footing.
Next year I gotta have a longer lens.
Linda says next year she's going to bring a longer lens so she can zoom way in. I just pointed out the spot on the trail. She says her lens is not quite good enough to get it good.
It's fine for on the bridge. Just I could expand it further away. Then again, I'd have to hike in with it.
Linda says the trouble is if she brought the long lens she'd have to hike in with it. And the trail's a little rough on the way in, it's a bit rocky in places. Waiting to see them coming out of the trees, I don't see them yet. I think what will happen is you'll end up with the front runners will be fairly well separated apart, so they'll kind of come through in dribs and drabs, and as we get to the bulk of the field they're going to be a continuous stream of riders. I can see the dust where they're coming through the trees. I see horses. I think you can see them. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them coming. I see about 6 coming now. Maybe 6 or 7 coming up the ridge. I'll leave you there for a minute, and as soon as they get closer, I'm going to scuttle over to the other side. Zoom in on them.
Someone wants to know how they do the start with 102 horses and if they're staggered.
Okay, so we'll answer that question. Somebody's asking about how they do the start, and once these guys have come through, I'll answer that question.
Should we come in?
Yeah, there's about 7 of them coming. Can you guys see them? Like just to the left of the bare spot. They're coming up the trail. I see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
I watched the live stream while I was getting dressed in my Jeep this morning. I watched the live stream that Brenda did at Highway 89, so I have a vague idea about the order that people are coming through in, although not 100%. I think this group has I believe this group, I can see a grey horse, and I think the grey horse is either Rainer Merrow with Clippy, who has won Hagen Cup in the past year, in past years, I should say. I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. I don't have the stats in front of me. And there's also John Perry, also on a grey. John Perry, also on a grey, Diva, and he was the one who won Hagen Cup last year. So we've got a good showing for grey horses. I'm trying to think who else is in this group. Suzanne Ford Huff will probably be in this group. Hoping my friend Emily Farmer on her little chestnut Daji, this is her first Tevis, I'm hoping that she'll be in this group and that she's having a good ride. It's a lot of these people who have come past so far have with the exception of Nikki Thorne, who was from England, a lot of the people have never been on this trail before, but most of the front runners will have. Oops, let me back away. The wobbly camera. Back away. Make my way back onto the other side so I'm not hiding behind the rocks for the horses. So yeah, it's a big challenge if you come out here and you do not know where the trail is, because you don't necessarily know when to go fast and when to go slow and where the trail goes. But it's quite a challenge to run up front when you do not know the trail. I think it's Raina.
Someone wanted to know if any Mustangs have come through, and no Mustangs have come through
No,
yet.
no Mustangs have come through yet.
Although this group might have some.
Sorry, I apologise. I start looking over the top of the camera and don't realise the camera's not pointing in the right direction. I'm squinting without my glasses, because if I put my glasses on then I can't see because it's too dark. The grey is definitely Raina Merrow. I think the horse behind Raina is her mother J Merrow, who has won Hagen Cup and Tevis Cup, but not with that horse. The horse she's riding is a youngster that she's got that she had to substitute in at the last minute. Not sure who this first 2 riders are. I'll get their numbers as they come through.
It's on the other side of the pillar.
Oh, Raina's making a break for it. There's Clippy. This is Molly Kiros with the bay behind. Suzanne Ford Huff with the white helmet in the purple. And then we have Jennifer Stalley. Hey! And Emily! Good job, Emily! Have fun! Oh, I can't go around the corner. This next one is Susie Hayes from Montana, is she?
Looking good. Do you know your number?
It's Susie Hayes.
Great. Good job. Thank you.
Catch them going down the hill when we can. Good. I'm happy that Emily's riding with Jennifer. That's a good person to be riding with. Jennifer Stalley has been doing this since she was a junior. She's got many buckles, and she started out as a junior, so she's been doing it. And she took some time off to have her own daughter, and now she's back again. This is Is this John Incognito? It is John. There's John Perry on the grey in the front, with Diva, who won that. Hello! We're having a good ride! Good stuff. So Diva was our Hagen Cup winner for last year. Very nice.
Bye, Lucy!
Bye, Lucy! Then we have Nicole, who's in charge of our trail, Nicole Wirtz. And number 48. Who's 48? Stacey's looking it up for me. Oh, there's Ranveg. Ranveg, she's, I think Ranveg's originally from Norway, but she lives in this country. So Ranreg, I know, has been here before because I remember her name. John is on his about, I don't know, 6th ride. Nicole has been riding this ride since she was a junior as well. Nicole is the daughter of Pat Chappell, who has the record of the most finishes on a single horse, which was the quarter horse Thunder's Lightning Bar with 13 finishes. That's absolutely crazy. The same horse, same rider, 13 finishes. But yeah, Nicole has her hands full because she's in charge of our trails, so she basically has to make sure that everything's sorted out, that we don't have any, you know, if there's any trail issues, she's got to basically get people out there to fix them and figure out what's going on with the trail and make sure the trail's in good shape for you guys. So she's busy doing that while juggling a job, a full-time job, and juggling getting ready for Tevis. So she's a superwoman there. John Perry is also on the Western States board, so he's involved in the background with various tasks. A lot of us do a lot of. I'm also on the board, but we do a lot of all kinds of things. You know, there's so many jobs that need doing, and you basically figure out what needs doing and get it done. Yes. Okay, so somebody was asking about the Rocky Mountain Arabian Cross, the nice little chocolate guy. Hayley Estevez is the rider, and apparently she's number 66? 67, sorry. And we have our next riders. For some reason, I never recognise Nicole when she's on a horse. I don't know what it is about her. She just looks so different. Zoom out. This is not going to work because I'm too wobbly. And my fingers are too dry. But yes, I always look blankly at Nicole when she comes through and then realise, oh, it's Nicole! Oh. But she and John have been training together, so I'm guessing that their horses work well together. This next rider, the one on the grey in front, is local rider Amrita O'Leary. I don't see who's behind her yet, we'll see. Amrita has excellent coloured tack. She's very colour coordinated with bright teal and bright orange. We'll see when she comes past. Hello, hello! Yeah! Are you having a good ride? This rider behind is Karen Stillwell. Hey, Karen. So both of these are local ladies. Linda's throwing her equipment down the hill. She's lost her phone. You need a tether on it.
It's just steep.
I'm going to put you back on the rock because I don't see any riders coming for a bit. You'll be a lot happier if you're not wobbling around with me. And I'm going to quickly glug some cold coffee out of a can. Watch out for, if you can see them, horses coming through right below where my finger is right now. You might see dust, and if you don't see them there, they'll be coming up the ridge. I will be right back.
No.
Throw it down.
Well, I can find it though.
Okay. I have stolen Stacey's phone so I can look at your comments while drinking coffee, while talking to you guys. So, see the question from Mike Mills. How would a UK ride this epic event? Well, Mike, the answer is you're going to need some cash. There are always riders who lease horses out, and it's not cheap. I'll warn you ahead of time, it's not cheap. The Reynolds, for instance, will often lease to international riders. Christoph Schork is another one who often has international riders. It's basically a case of figuring out who you can basically persuade to lease you a horse for a very large sum of money, unfortunately. But it's you know, the cost of getting the horses to this stage is astronomical, because you've got to feed them. They don't just pop out of the womb as Tevis horses. They've got to be trained, and it takes years to get a horse ready to be a good horse. And typically, if it's a horse that you're comfortable leasing to somebody, it also needs to be this sort of special horse that's not going to, you know, leap around or dump your rider or whatever. So the best thing to do would be to go on, like I think I mentioned it earlier, we have a Facebook page called Tevis Trail to the Trail, and if you put out a thing there and basically get chatting with people and say, I'm interested in leasing a horse for next year. Sometimes, you know, you might have riders who are interested in coming to England and maybe doing Golden Horseshoe or something like that, and they'll oh, I see 2 more coming, but they're a little ways out. 3 more coming, 4 more coming. So yeah, sometimes if you've got a horse that perhaps you can persuade somebody who wants to do Golden Horseshoe, which is a 100-mile ride down in, is it Devon or is it Somerset? It's down in the West Country anyway. And if they're interested in doing that, they might do a horse swap with you. That's a cheaper way to do it. What else do we have here, question-wise? Lots of talk about April and Jeepers. Obviously, we have not seen them. Waiting for Carrie. I'm hoping I will recognise Carrie, because she is a blast, that lady. She's so funny. Most riders will do brief rest spots at spots that are not hold. Yeah, typically they don't, because there are so many checkpoints along the way. They don't spend a lot of time. They might do a sort of a grab and go as they're coming through the high country. I've got to get out of here right now. I'm going to put my coffee down. Hang on. Put my coffee on the bushes. Get you off the rock. Get out of the way because I'm in the wrong place. Give Stacey back her phone. But yeah, but typically there's not a lot of snacking going on because you just don't have time. Sorry, giving you that back. This is, oh, the one in the back is Hayley Estevez, the Rocky Mountain Arabian we were talking about earlier. The one in the front is, I need to just get their number because I'm not recognising them. They'll probably get up close and I'll know who it is. Is it Jay?
Good morning.
Jay Merrow. So this is Raina's mum who came through, and Hayley Estevez. Jay has won both, Jay in the front on the chestnut, has won both Hagen Cup and Tevis Cup with her horse Lena, who she was hoping to ride this year. Now, unfortunately, Lena's having some issues with some footwear. She's got something that Jay has been working with and trying to get her sorted out and managed to get it under control, but apparently Lena had other ideas and she had to substitute in this horse, Aria, as her youngster for this year. So she was pretty bummed about that. She really, really wanted to ride at Lena this year, so she was sad. But she did pretty well. It was Aria's first Tevis last year, and she said that Aria didn't have an awful lot of idea about what was going on, but they still managed to come in 12th, so she did pretty well. Okay, here's the next batch. I'm waiting for my eyes to cut in and see if I can recognise who the riders are. We've got six horses. I have a guess about who the person in front is, but I'm not saying until they get closer and I can say for sure. Sorry, camera's off again. It's trouble when I zoom in, I don't have to be quite so attentive. Or I do need to be more attentive, that's the problem. Hello, hello! How's it going? Good. This is Krista Turnage with Stretch. Stretch is all legs. This is rider 78. I'm sorry I don't know her. This is rider 106. I'm sorry I don't know necessarily the out of town people.
That works, right?
I think this is Shauntia Curtin, who's our deaf rider, so she's doing good. 6'2", good job. She looks like she might have been smacked in the face by, so she's got a big sign on her back. So if I can catch that, I don't think I can. Big sign, rider is deaf. Hello, number 82, and we have Melissa.
Hi, Stacey. How you doing?
Great.
Good. Enjoying the view.
Yeah, I am.
Awesome.
Melissa's
See you
also
later.
a local rider.
Thank you.
Poor Shauntia looks like she got smacked. There's a lot of brush coming through Granite Chief. There's a lot of branches, and it looks like she might have got smacked in the mouth by a branch. Poor her. It's not for the faint of heart coming out here, that's for sure. But anyway, so yes, that was Krista Turnage in front. That's who I thought it was, but I was like, I'm not going to say in case it's not her. Poor Krista, she's got a back issue and she's now got the crud from going down to Las Vegas. It's what happens if you have too much fun. Apparently Heather is out of Red Star, so somebody told me. This is Alicia Verbad's, I don't know how to pronounce her name, from Lithuania. 27. And behind her is it Brad? Brad Drake? What did I say? I'm trying to do this from memory. These two riders came from Texas.
Wow.
So they,
Brandon
Brandon Brunner, that's it. Sorry, there's a Brad and a Brandon. Brandon Brunner. Anglo-Arab Jenny. I know he was hoping, he managed to get to Lower Quarry on his other horse last year, and he was really bummed because he didn't quite make it. And he was hoping to bring that same horse back, but it did not work.
Oh, shoot.
So he ended up,
Sorry.
Alicia brought the horses out from Texas, so she trailered them out. This is going to be the Crater Hill group, and I might be able to recognise some of them on site, but they all wear the same clothes and they all look the same, so excuse me. And they all ride together as well, which doesn't help. Yay! Go Monica! Go Monica and don't slow down! This is Monica Bennett in the back with her, I love her horse, Navour. Monica has tried this ride so many times and she has had such rotten luck. And last year she went over time, and I don't know what she was doing. I was like, Monica, focus! So I'm really, really happy to see her up there. Both she and the horse are more than capable of being where they need to be. So I don't know whether she had some issue last year or what the problem was, but I'm super happy to see her up front there. That's not up front, but basically, you know, closer to the front than the back, because I was so bummed last year. So super, I'm really, really happy for her. She's the nicest person as well as Monica. Here, group of 5. Sorry. See if I could read the chat. You could tell me, Lucy, move the camera. Busy watching the horses and not watching the camera.
Wonderful commentary.
Wonderful commentary, despite the not so good focusing of the camera.
Somebody said that they don't do lives in the bedding to prevent outside opinions.
Yeah, there's always armchair people who are like, oh, look at that horse, you know, and the vets are evaluating the gait, and a lot of the vets are seeing the horses over and over again, and they saw the horses at the beginning. So, I mean, some of these horses are very, very high mileage, and they might not move as smoothly and as beautifully as a horse that's, you know, fresh out of the stable. So we're basically trying to prevent armchair opinions on whether or not the horse was doing what it was supposed to do.
Number 17.
There's Lindsay Fisher in the front with Biscuit. Number 94, I'm sorry, I don't know. This is Alex Niehaus. I'll tell you more about Alex in a second.
74.
Is that you, Jennifer, under there?
Jennifer, what's your number?
58. 58.
Have a great ride.
Thank you. We shall.
So I think that was behind Alex Niehaus was Jennifer Niehaus. And when I have a moment, I will tell you about this family. They're an amazing family. I'm assuming that's who it was. She's got a big buff up her face to get rid of the dust, but they are a 3-generation hardcore endurance riders, those people. I'll come back to them because Jennifer's mother, Alex's grandmother, has won just about every AERC award there is. Her name is Joyce Souza. If you ever look up Hall of Fame, partners, Hall of Fame horses, Hall of Fame people, Joyce Souza is in every single thing. This is Gal Munch from Texas.
Have a great ride.
Thank you.
That's one of our long-time riders.
42 or 92?
92.
92. Thank you.
Great man,
You're complaining about the penmanship for the number on the horse's butt. At least you can still see it. That's the trouble with some of these darker, you know, the brown horses. You just can't see the number once they get here. It's sweated off or it's been wiped off or whatever. Yeah, Gal came from Texas. He comes many, many years. I think this is Christoph in the red helmet. I know he has some leased riders. So that's number 41. 91, sorry. There's Christoph on the grey with Ozzy.
Hi there. Number 16. Have a great ride.
21 and 24. So these are the 2 riders from New Zealand. Go New Zealand! Good job, you guys. Have fun. Jackie and Natalie is the other one. I'm not sure which is which. But Christoph, we were talking about people who lease horses. So Jackie and Natalie both came from New Zealand and leased from Christoph in the front there on the grey. Possibly the one in the front of them. I'm not sure who that was. I can't remember if he has. I think he has 4 horses this year, so they might all be together. But Christoph has an excellent program. He's out of Moab, Utah, and he has some nice horses. Christoph rides probably more than anyone else in the universe, except for Dave Rabe. And he basically... he wins and wins and wins and wins and then wins best condition. And to begin with, he had the worst luck. This is Frank Crum, our board member. This is Frank's first Tevis. Frank got into it. They said, maybe you can do some LDs, Frank. And Frank said, all right. He said, I'll do some LDs. And now look at him.
Now look where we are.
Now look where we are. Good
Thank
job,
you.
Frank.
Do you need my number? 61.
61. All right, Frank.
Horse is like, really? Can we go back?
No.
Go on, you're good. He's like, okay. Have a good ride, Frank. There's a trouble, horses get a little confused sometimes. But yeah, no, he told me this story the other day about how his wife, Christine, she also rides, and she talked him into coming just to do some LDs. And here he is now. And his wife Christine has ridden a few times. So yeah, Joyce Souza, Jennifer Niehaus and Alex Niehaus. Like I said, Joyce has won just about every single award there is to win in AERC. She was around for years. She had a brilliant horse called Ritzy, who got the Perfect 10 award. There's only about 5 horses in the I was going to say in the country, but it's probably in the world. And I think it's 10 years, 10, oh gosh, I can't even remember what it is. It's a crazy bar basically that you've got to do. So if you go on the AERC.org page and look up their awards, look up the Perfect 10 award. And she had 2 Hall of Fame horses, Ritzy, the one that did the Perfect 10, and also a gorgeous horse named Jim Bob, back in the 90s, who was this gorgeous liver chestnut with this lovely flaxen mane. He was like the prettiest horse ever, and he was an amazing horse as well, so it was like brilliant, so good. But I remember Jennifer riding when she was practically pregnant, and then when she was with Alex, who's now in college, and Jennifer used to run the Lake Sonoma endurance ride at the end of the season in over by the coast in California. So she ran that one for years. So they ride a lot. The Joyce's husband Dennis, he rides. Jennifer's husband rides. Basically, you can't keep them off the horses. But yeah, I remember her having Alex when Alex was like a tiny baby at Lake Sonoma, things like that, and they're now riding together as mother and daughter. So that's pretty cool. I want to recognise these riders.
Where do we go?
That way.
That way. Oh, I see it. Hi. Good morning.
Are you having a good ride?
Great ride.
Excellent.
We're having the best ride, actually.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Yeah. I'm going for my 10th buckle.
Oh, this is Christy in the back. So with number 28 in the front. I have to look her up. This is Christy Hartman in the back.
Do you need our numbers or anything?
I think we know who you are, Christy. It's all right. We've got it. We've got it, Christy.
Thank you.
This is Christy's new horse, Naughty Grey Linda. Christy is going for her 10th buckle. She's been trying to do this for the last few years and had some bad luck. But this is a new horse for her.
Horse 47.
In the back. Who is number 28?
28 is May Lynn.
Oh, there's May Lynn. So in front of her was May Lynn Poulsen, who's from Norway but actually lives in Southern California. So that's why, and it's May Lynn's first Tevis. So that's nice to see them having a good time. But yeah, Christy's a hoot. She's very funny to ride with, and she's like a bundle of energy. And once these horses go through, I'll tell you another story about true grit on the trail with Christy. Who's this? This is Hal Hall in the orange in the front. So this is Hal's, get this, 42nd Tevis start. If he finishes today, he will have 34 buckles.
Yeah, what's your number, Hal?
We know who you are, Hal. It's all right. Get the camera in the right place.
Have a great ride. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello.
6'3".
6.3 and 101. This is our first Mustang. This is Astro with Lee.
Oh, she won the Georgetown Divide.
So yeah, if Hal finishes tomorrow, or today rather, it could be tomorrow by the way he finishes, he will equal Barbara White as the other person who has 34 buckles. So, and I don't know if he's going to stop or if he's going to keep going. He is again, I've ridden with him and he is a bundle of joy on the trail. He's just so happy to be out here. So he's been riding this ride since its inception. I think he was 17 when he first started riding. He used to ride with Wendell Roby back in the day. So he has all sorts of fun stories about Wendell Roby and you know, things that used to go on back in the day. This first rider here is Cassandra DiMaggio with Taser. He's the only stallion in the ride. Taser, we like Taser. Taser's lovely. And if Andrea's watching, here you go, Andrea. Hello! Cassandra also ran Western States Run. Double buckle! Good job, you! Western States Run she won and did it this year for the first time and finished. This is number 71. Ooh, there's heaps of them. Number 38, 79, 97, 39 juniors. This is Jenny Gomez on the grey. Good job, Jenny.
Hello, Lucy.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for being out here.
Andrew Gerhardt. This is Scott. Woohoo, Scott. And Jeepers. We have Jeepers. Let's get out of the way so we can film these. There's Scott Stewart on the sort of champagne coloured one in the middle. More stories about Scott, but we're hoping that Scott finishes. Get out of the way for the next lot. This is a very dirty Sonia. You are filthy, Sonia. On her gated, I think he's what is he, a Tennessee Walker? His gated horse, number 38, 36. Not sure who the 37. And Shane Lesher, this is our first mule. Shane with Ticket. And Ticket is also going for Roby Trophy, so he's choosing to tail, which is something you don't see that often, especially not around here because it tends to be a bit faster. But people will get off their horses, or mules in this case, and basically tail up some of the rockier terrain and basically give the equine a break. And if you can keep up, but it's a good way. You have to train the horses to do it, or the mules to do it. Otherwise, it ends in tears basically as they go off the side of the trail. But it's a good way to give them a break if they need it. If you're fit enough to do it, that's the trouble. You've got to be fit enough to do it and make sure that you don't cook yourself too early in the ride. So, good job him. Still going up that hill. Look at this view, guys. It's so gorgeous. Lake Tahoe is on the other side of those hills, basically. Hills, I say hills, mountains, the other side of the mountains. There's a patch in the middle there. I'm trying to figure out if it's snow. It can't possibly be snow. It must just be bare granite. 102. So Stacey just said she's had about half the riders have come through so far. 64 so far.
More coming.
Another, I think we started 102 if everybody started. I didn't see any stats this morning yet that anybody didn't start. I'm so pleased some of these people coming through that they're still having a good time. And I rode this ride one time and I had such a blast, and I talked to somebody afterwards and he said, how did it go? And I said, oh, I had such fun. And he said, it's a difficult ride to have fun on, because it's so intense and you know you never get a break. Basically you're on for 24 hours straight, because there are not many places on the trail where you can rest, you know, mentally or physically, just because of the terrain. So it's tough work.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't sleep at all.
You sleep on the horse sometimes.
Yeah.
I have, yes.
On this
It's
one right now?
no, and when you get further down, when you're on the river road, but no, it's not pretty, and you don't do it on purpose. I promise you. You get to the stage where you're trying to stay awake and you start hallucinating because you can't stay awake.
I used to fall asleep when I rode on the back of a motorcycle.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that. It's like don't fall off, but keep upright.
That's when I had to start riding my own motorcycle.
And then I fall asleep riding my own motorcycle, so that does not help. Not sure. Oh, this might be Johnny. Johnny from Texas. Johnny Jewel.
A lot of people from Texas, huh?
Oh no, it isn't. I tell a lie. It's not Johnny at all. It's Christina. Woohoo!
Sound like a Johnny.
Christina on her Tennessee Walker Rip. This is Christina's first Tevis. Are you having a good time?
Oh, you thought that was better, right? See you guys later.
Christina is in charge of our SOS sweep teams. So we have behind the last rider, we have basically what they call sweep riders. So they ride behind the last rider on each section. They don't do the entire trail. And Christina's done that for a few years. And she's basically in charge of making sure that all the different people end up in the right place at the right time, following in the right way. So I'm super happy to see her. And like I said, I apologise if I'm misidentifying horses. I'm not wearing my glasses because they turn dark in the sun and then I can't see the screen. And then that ends in tears. Stacey, do we have any questions? You want me to?
Has anyone ever tailed up Cougar Rock? My guess is no.
Yes, actually, people have, not necessarily by design. We've had people. The Cougar Rock is a strange one because the trail isn't super obvious when you get to it. So you have horses. Some horses are pretty obedient, and you basically say go up that, and they're like okay, and they'll go straight up it. Other horses will look at it and go, there's nothing there. There's no trail. You know, you're asking me to go straight up that jump. They have to kind of jump up it's maybe a 3-4 foot jump to start with before they kind of get on the rock part themselves. And a lot of horses just look at it and there's like, I have no idea what you are asking me to do. So they'll try and go to the left, go to the right. They're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Or they get halfway up and they get confused and they start backing down. Krista, who was in the front of the group a while back, she used to have a little horse called Sinatra, and Sinatra decided one year halfway up that nope, he wasn't doing it, and basically went backwards down the trail. And I don't know whether she ended up leading him over or whether she just abandoned it. There's actually a bypass trail that you can take, and the purist amongst us say no, you must take Cougar Rock, it's part of the trail. And the people who've had issues are like, no, it's okay, I'm taking the bypass, thanks. So, but I want to say there have been people tailing up. Like I said, I don't know if they did it by design. Sometimes the horse starts to stumble halfway up the rock. People will end up sort of bailing off, and they might end up leading the horse up after that.
Someone's asking about shoes.
Shoes. I have not been paying any attention at all to shoes. That is a question. I believe that Kristin Ochala, who's down at Robinson Flat, will be going live. She might even already be live. She might have just gone live.
Does this ride require protection for the horse's feet?
Yes, the ride definitely requires protection of the feet, and if you try to ride barefoot, you would not be a happy camper. So people have, I mean, it's all manner of footwear basically. It's shoes, it's boots, it's glue-ons, it's nail-ons, it's plastic shoes, it's steel shoes, it's everything in their friends. Just looking at this buckskin, I don't know who this is. I'm wondering if this is I know there's a Morgan out there and I didn't look to see what colour it is. I don't know, Morgans, so sometimes I'm probably talking rubbish here, but we'll see when they get closer. But yeah, ask Kristin to pay special attention to the shoes. Asking this. Oh, I know who this is. This is Jaya May with her Foxtrotter, Missouri Foxtrotter.
Morning.
And her junior. Junior is Addison Lyko behind her.
47J.
47J. Have a
This is
great
another one
ride,
of my
ladies.
gated horses. But yeah, Kristen has an assistant who can pay attention and look at the footwear on the horses. And they're also going to be, I think, probably in a position where they can see them close up because they're not going so fast. Nope, no, you're below me. Linda just took another tumble. It's really steep right here and really rubbly. So she's scrambling around here. She's doing a great job, but she's going to have some bruises by the end of the day. So
Someone's asking how many spots we're filming today.
I will tell you that in 1 second. Let me get this rider through. What a cute little guy. I am a sucker.
Good morning. I love your color.
Sucker for greys.
What's your number?
7-3.
All right,
7-3.
Ryder. Have a great ride.
Thank you.
Eat that.
That was a good one, huh?
Little cute grey. Look at him. He looks fun to ride.
Aaron Glassman.
Oh, that's Erin Glassman. I didn't recognise her. So funny. It's just, Erin helps out big time. She helps with the Tevis Forum every year. She writes some of the articles for that. I don't recognise her. This is the trouble when you see people in their street clothes and they're not. So rude. So rude.
I challenge you when to come up here and run around.
Yeah, you try doing what we're doing. So how many spots are we going to be? So we have made a concerted effort over the past, since we've started getting the Starlings, we are no longer tied to cell phone places only, although I would note that I am on the cell phone today, which is astonishing to me. We had Brenna at Highway 89, we had Abigail at Olympic Valley at Palisades, I'm at Elephant's Trunk, then we have Kristin at Robinson Flat, which is mile 36, and she'll catch the vet check there. Then Stacey and I are jumping in the car, we're driving down the hill, and we're driving around, and we will be at Deadwood to catch the front runners only, I think. It's unfortunately I am crewing for Emily Farmer at Forest Hill, so how long I can stay at Deadwood is going to be entirely dependent on where Emily is in the field at that point, because I have to time it so that I can leave Deadwood and get to Forest Hill before she does. So we're hoping that Emily is right now she's quite close to the front, so that's bad for you and that's good for me and good for Emily, but we'll see how that goes. So we're going to have Deadwood, and then Kristin is picking up Forest Hill, and then from Forest Hill I'm going to scramble once Emily gets out of Forest Hill. I'm going to scramble around with Stacey and we're going to go down to Francisco's, and we're going to see if we can get out on the trail, a little sort of up trail from Francisco's, because I think it'll just be daylight still then. It's probably going to be around 8 o'clock-ish, maybe 8:30, so it's going to be dodgy. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to see if I can film the front runners coming into Francisco's, all being well. This plan may not happen, so we'll see. And then once it gets dark, I may or may not stay down there. It's going to be really dark down there, so I'm not going to be able to get much footage, I don't think, and I definitely won't be live. I'll probably be uploading, if I do take any video or photos, I'll be uploading them afterwards. And then we have Brenna again at the finish line. Oh, I'm sorry. Between that, Brenna is going to be at Chicken Hawk, so she's going to be just before Forest Hill. I think she's going to Chicken Hawk. I'm not sure if she's going to do the vet check or whether she's going to be at the spot I was at last year, which was the exit of Chicken Hawk. But she's going to be there for a bit. And then, yeah, we'll have Brenna at the finish line, and then somebody else at the stadium, because the horses come over the finish line and then they go down into the stadium and do their victory lap.
I don't think wheels would be very helpful. I think I just go skating off into the distance and you never see me again.
We're going to have the top I think we're going to report the top 20 at the finish line and in the stadium, and after that, because they start stretching out and further and further and further, we're going to have somebody that's going to be just taking little videos of individual riders as they finish. I think this is that way. This is Amber Oliver. It's Amber's first Tevis. Go Amber! Tops! Woohoo!
You want numbers?
Yes, please.
9-6.
Thank you, Ryder.
7-6.
Go on, Tops, you can do it.
Have a great ride.
Thank you.
6 miles.
Here's number 76. Ooh, this next horse is my favourite. This is all.
76 Emily Hampton.
Oh, that was Emily Hanson. Okay, this horse here is 7, who is 13.3. He is going for his Hello with Audra Cook, and behind her is Izzy Watson with Walter.
Ryder.
60.
How many rides is this for 7 now?
This will be 4.
It's 4. And how many is this for Walter?
This is his 6th start and hopefully his 5th completion.
Hopefully his 5th completion. So Audra is one of the smartest riders I know, and she does amazing things with that little Mustang. She got him from the prison program where they gentle Mustangs, and she's done amazing with him. And then Izzy with Walter. So Walter, if he finishes, he'll be a recipient on the, or he'll get his name on the Roby Trophy, which is for horses that have finished 5 times.
Hi, Grayson.
Hello, hello.
Go Texas.
110. This is Johnny. See, she looks a bit like Christina, same colour.
All my Region 4 friends. Love you guys.
So Johnny does NATRC a lot with her horse. Let's see if we can get her going down the hill very quickly before the next one comes. Johnny's another one from Texas, Johnny Jewel, and she has got a ton of finishes.
Hi, Riders.
The
Number?
Yes, please.
112.
112. The next horse this is Cody with Ken Campbell. Cody's going for his 9th finish, including Hagen Cup. I was so bummed they got pulled last year.
Hi, Ryder. What's your number?
81.
81. Thank you. Have a great ride.
So Cody is a marvel. Another one of our Mustangs, basically. So if people tell you can't do endurance or you can't do Tevis unless you have an Arabian, Cody's here to prove you wrong.
These round rocks are not helpful.
Stay off the round rocks.
Not meaning.
This is Terry. We have Terry. Terry sold me my horse, my squee horse. So this is one of our.
Asking how far we are from the red vet check. I think
We
that's
are
our-
about 1.5 miles, something like that. So this is Charlie with Terry. He's a spotted saddle horse, Tennessee Walker spotted saddle horse. Woohoo! Woohoo! Go Terry and Charlie.
Go Charlie.
Terry and Charlie have one Tevis completion. They're going for they did it on the weird course that year.
Thanks, Lucy.
Have a good ride, Terry.
Hey, we'll see you again.
I've ridden Charlie. I took Charlie to Virginia City and rode him and completely messed him up. And we got pulled at 50 miles, and it was not Charlie's fault. It was entirely operator error on my part. And I'm pretty bummed about that because I was having a good ride with him. He's very gated, and he can gate so fast. I did not realise horses could gate that fast. It was astonishingly speedy. So that's kind of cool. So Terry has a lot of gated horses, and yeah, Terry Zigalinsky.
Oh, that water is hot.
He's had good luck with a few horses. I think Scott Stewart got his horse from Terry. My good friend Annette, Annette Phillips was in charge of trail marking this year, amongst other things, she was doing everything basically. But trail marking and inventory was Annette's cross to bear this year. And Annette had a nice finish on her horse Johnny, who she also got from Terry. Johnny's good fun. So yeah, he's a good resource if you're looking for a gaited horse for endurance. Terry has a good eye for them. He looks for horses that are sort of quiet and mild-mannered, for people who want quiet and mild-mannered horses. But if he sees one that he thinks might make a good endurance horse, he will definitely send it your way if you're looking for a gaited endurance. And the horse I got from him, Squee, I love that horse to bits. He is so solid. He was not solid when I got him, but he is so solid now. So this is a red roan, and I remember seeing red roan, and I can't think who it is. Hello! Good movement up the hill. Number 65.
Is this elephant trunk?
This is elephant's trunk, yeah.
Hi, Lainey.
Some horses zip on down and some have careful footing. And careful is not necessarily bad. He's got a nice little gait, this guy. I like him. Just gets the job done. So you don't even necessarily have to be speedy to finish this ride. You just need to be very, very consistent. That horse looks pretty consistent. So you just keep moving and keep moving steady. Got a break. I can't remember all the questions that I said I would answer when people were gone. I was going to tell you about Scott Stewart with Eddie. Scott has been, I want to say this is his 4th try. It's been good for me because he ended up helping me out and being my assistant for a couple of years. He had an issue last year where the horse had a very minor eye injury, but it was kind of weepy, and they said, you know, he shouldn't really go out on the dusty trail. And Scott was like, yeah, you're right. So he was pretty bummed that it was something super minor, but they couldn't ride last year. So I persuaded him to come out with me on the course, and I hope he had a good day. he was quite quiet, but we had a good time. And then another year he had helped me one of the years we started at Soda Springs. He was my driver, and he came with I think it was a brand new shiny black truck. And we took that truck all over the place, and it was absolutely filthy by the time we were done, and covered in bush scrapes, racing stripes down the side and things. And I felt pretty bad because the thing had been absolutely spotless when he arrived. So many thanks to Scott for his help over the years. And he's just had some bad luck with Eddie, so we're fingers crossed that this year's the year.
Someone wanted to know the temperature today.
I don't know. I want to say it's probably low 80s. It's hard to tell because there's a light breeze, and it's actually really nice up here, especially if you're standing in the shade. It's in the sun, it's pretty intense. But it's there's a light breeze, so it's actually very comfortable up here right now. I am not recognising any of these riders yet. We'll see when they get closer. Might be another Crater Hill contingent. I think it is. The first 3 riders, 4 riders, 5 riders maybe are Crater Hill. Let's see if we can get their numbers. This is Chelsea Arnold with West Wind Dragon in the front, number 51. Ryan Ellis, who was our youngest finisher last year. Then 66. 52, 102, whoops, 83, 54, and that was Amber Oliver trying to call me, and I'm sorry Amber, I cannot take your call. I don't know why she's trying to call me, but hopefully that doesn't mean anything bad, or maybe she butt dialed me, that's also possible. Let's hope she butt dialed me.
Hello, and thank you.
Oh, Amber says we have an injured horse. One more.
Thanks for giving me something so cool to shoot.
I think I need to put you. It sounds like there's a horse cut its leg.
Hey, hello.
Stacey, can I use your phone a second,
How are you
please?
guys today? Well, I'm mostly good. I've fallen down a few times. It's very steep. Not paying attention, you can go down. Don't do that.
Can I get you to
Beautiful.
hold that?
I'll give you a
No, not at all.
thinking where I am or whatever.
That last group of riders came in so fast with so many, I had no way of counting. So I don't know how many what number we're at.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. Let me take that back. Thank you so much.
You're
Sorry to dump that
welcome.
one on you.
It's fine.
We don't know how many horses we had now because there was like 20 horses.
Big group. Sorry about that.
I'd like to go if I can finish this down. Maybe go back to Charlie and
for a minute. I'm going to pop you on the rock again for a minute, pick you back up again. Oh. I'll be right back.
I don't see any dust. Anywhere. Oh, here comes somebody.
Nearly missed one. To get over there. This one snuck up on us quietly. Okay, so we have our first horse in at Robinson. Did they say who it was?
That's pretty far. Are you guys having a conversation? That's awesome.
You having a good ride?
So far it's great, yeah.
Good.
Oh,
He's like, oh, just have a...
Beautiful picture.
Says
The
we-
only person that stopped.
We are at 7,000 feet, he says. This is tough. Let's ride to number 50. Oh, this is Chris. So finally recognise you. Chris lives up Southern Oregon, I think it is. Northern California, Southern Oregon. I think he's in Southern Oregon now. He has finished before. I don't think on this horse, but he's definitely finished before because I rode with him one year for part of the way. I'll be back on the rock. I'm going to see if I can find out who the last few riders are so we can figure out when we're getting close to the tail end. Because we don't know, and because of the kerfuffle back there, we didn't get a good count as to how many riders we've had come through. So just have to do a pop you on the rock. I'll go get some information. Juggling phones here. have no more riders. We thought possibly there was one more still to come, but it looks like not the case. So I think we are done here for the day. Thank you for tuning in and listening to us. I'm hoping that you are now downstream with Kristin at Robinson Flat, and we will see you again at Deadwood in a few hours.